Um, have you ever wondered what happens when a victim of a crime gets returned to the very perpetrator who committed the act? It's a chilling thought, but it's exactly what occurred in the case of Jeffrey Dahmer, one of America's most infamous serial killers. In the new series Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story, uh, we delve into this harrowing tale and explore the events that led to the death of one of Dahmer's victims, Konerak Sinthasomphone. And, in the series, we see how Dahmer lured Sinthasomphone into his apartment with the promise of money for nude photos. And once there, Dahmer drugged and brutally assaulted him, uh, capturing images of his unconscious body. But Synthasomephone managed to escape and was found outside by Glenda Cleveland, who immediately called the police. You might be wondering why the police would return a young boy to a man like Dahmer, especially after uh, receiving a call from a concerned citizen. Well, that's where things get even more shocking. Um, when the police arrived at Dahmer's apartment, they found Synthesonphone in his hands, seemingly unharmed. Dahmer claimed that Synthesonphone was a house guest named John Munn who had overindulged in alcohol. Um, Despite the fact that Synthesonphone was barely conscious and couldn't speak for himself, the officers believed Dahmer's story and returned him to the apartment. It's hard to imagine how things could have gone so wrong, but the truth is that the police officers involved in this incident made a series of critical errors that ultimately led to Synthesophone's death. Uh, in the series, we see how the officers failed to verify Dahmer's identification, which would have revealed his status as a registered sex offender. We also see how they neglected to search the apartment, which would have revealed the presence of another victim's body in Dahmer's bedroom. Despite these mistakes, the officers involved in the incident were eventually reinstated and even received compensation for their lost wages. This decision was met with widespread criticism, as many felt that the officers had not properly investigated the case due to Synthesophone's race and apparent relationship with Dahmer. The portrayal of the police in law in Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story, has sparked controversy, with some arguing that it unfairly portrays law enforcement as racist and prejudiced. However, the show's creators argue that it uncovers the shocking crimes committed by Dahmer and the communities affected by systemic racism and institutional flaws within the police force. Despite the controversy, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story has become one of the most viewed true crime biopics on Netflix, with many praising the show's attention to detail and nuanced portrayal of Dahmer's victims. But what about other adaptations of Dahmer's life? How have they portrayed the police and the events leading up to his arrest? While there have been 5 major Dahmer adaptations, none have delved as deeply into the concept of police officers being culpable for allowing a child to perish at Dahmer's litter hands as Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story, did To Buy with One being, again, often one plus story. In the end, the story of Jeffrey Dahmer and his victims is a tragic and disturbing reminder of the importance of proper police investigation and the dangers of racism and prejudice. Infinite. With that said, thanks for watching, and Until next time, I'll see you next time